Hey, what's up, y'all? So it's A.R.T the barber, coming at you guys back with another video. So this one is gonna be, one of my clients haven't cut his hair in like a month, but he comes to me every about 2 weeks. He just has some stuff going on. So let's get into it. Right now, it's a 5 on top and a mid fade. So right now, I'm just going over it with the 5, making sure it's all evened out with the 5 on top. I hope you guys are having a good day. I know Valentine's is tomorrow. Valentine's in 2026. So usually around this time of year it starts picking up. January is a little bit slow. Because everybody got haircuts for like the Christmas season and the New Year's season. So January time is kind of slow because people don't have that extra money because they spent their money for the holidays. But this time around it starts to pick up. So I got this video going on 2 times speed. I believe this haircut, it took me 38 minutes. So I normally do my haircuts in 30, nothing past like 45 minutes. Just depends on the hair and the length. And I've been cutting hair for a little while, so I kind of have my own routine down and where I'm quick with my haircuts. And this haircut actually was a late appointment, so I came back a little bit later in the day, to do this haircut. My client needed one bad. Fixing that camera there.
Actually, I thought that was a pretty good concert. Yeah, that was great. That's what I was considered over here.
Alright, so now I debulked. I went with the 5 all around. Made sure it was all even. Now I'm setting in my bald line with my Babyliss trimmers. So normally, for your mid fades, you start it at the very top of the C cup. So that's where you want to start, your bald line. You can see it a little bit better here on this side. Right here, I start at the top of the C cup and work my way to the back. And one thing that's really big is symmetrical, keeping your lines even. Make sure it's even all around. If you start off with your lines even, it's going to be a lot easier for you, and it's going to look a lot cleaner than when your lines aren't evened out. So clients can see that. Believe me, people, your client can be in a grocery store or in the mall or something, and people look at their haircut and trust me, people see when that haircut, the lines weren't even, or if it looks, it doesn't look good. So make sure you keep your lines even. Your client will really appreciate it. Plus, your clients they're paying top dollar for these haircuts, and you want to provide good quality and good service. Alright, so now that since all that's done, I'm going in with my foil shaver, make sure it's getting down to the skin. And I mean, everyone's different. I've seen some barbers do the foil shaver very last, like they'll do the whole fade first and then they'll do the foil shaver. I mean, I do that sometimes too, just depends, how I'm feeling. But a majority of the time I do, I'll do the foil shaver after I set in that bald guideline. Then I'll do my foil shaver. But I also, it just depends on the lines. Like, I think in this haircut right here, towards the end, it was giving me a little bit of trouble. I mean, he's in one part, it always gives me a little bit of trouble getting out that bald line. So I do a little trick with my foil shaver, like you can just flip it around and just go down with it, and it'll help take out that bald line. that's pretty much it right there with the foil shaver. Now I'm gonna debulk a little bit more. So I started with the 5 on top. I think I'm debulking right now with the 2. Just debulking with the 2 all around. Have that 2 open. Keeping the client, keeping the client clean, make sure there's no hairs on him. Alright, so now we made the initial guideline, the bald line. So now let's start fading. So right now I'm going with the lever fully open. I'm going about an inch up. And then it's going to create that line from where we are at the bald line to the lever fully open. So then how you get that line out is you close your lever. So once you go with your lever fully open, you close your lever and start, attacking that bald line out. But the way I like to do it is I like to kind of angle my clipper, and I like to use my corners a lot. And you can actually see in this video where I'm using my corners. And I mean, this client I'm already used to. I've been cutting his hair for, maybe the past 4 years. So I know that one side of his hair hit that bald guideline. Gives me a little bit of trouble, but I'm able to get it out here towards the end of this video. And that was the part that I was talking about with the foil shaver. So I do the whole fade, like I complete the whole fade, and then I'll go back and kind of just detail and work at that line a little bit more. I mean, it comes out towards the end of the video, but everyone's hair texture is different. So you're gonna learn that in this barber journey, and you're gonna learn different. You're gonna mess with all sorts of different types of hair. So right here, I'm going in with my 1, going another inch up. I'll go with my 1 open, and then I will close my 1 and attack that line that I made, blending out that clipper open to the 1. It's going to create a line. So to get out that line is you close your 1, and sometimes it'll blend out. Other times, like right now, you have to throw on a half guard. So I throw on my half guard, and one thing I was taught, I mean, it's common knowledge, you can't take off, if you close your half guard, you're taking off a certain amount of hair that you can't put back on there. So to be safe than sorry, I always have it lever fully open when I'm using my half guard. And like in this haircut right here, I noticed that it wasn't really taking it off, so I think I closed it 2 notches, and it ended up blending out the hair well. It all depends on the hair type. And then I'll go back to my 1. After using that half guard, I just went back to my 1 just to, help blend it more. Looks good. Same exact thing on the other side. So I go up with my 1, lever fully open all around, on another inch. Then I'll close the lever, attack that line from my lever open with no guard to the one that I just created. Attack that line that it made. Kind of soften it up a little bit before I go in with my half guard right now. Half guard fully open. Try to blend it out. Always look at your mirror when you're cutting people's hair, because the mirror does not lie. You'll see things in the mirror that that you can't see with your eyes. So always kind of just look at the mirror. In the mirror you'll see anything that you need to touch up, or any lines that are there. So after the half guard, I go back to my 1, close, and then I think I open it afterwards. Just helping blend out that line, helping blend the hair into onto the top. Like I said, everybody has a system. I recommend looking at one system and just following it. Right there, and the blend's already looking really, really good. And two guys, checking out the smock. If you guys are in Corpus Christi, Texas, specifically the Flower Bluff area, I'm out here. Just either comment on the video or reach out to me. I would love to meet you. I'd love to talk to you and see about what your journey is with barbering. And who knows, maybe if you wanted a haircut, I can cut your hair as well. So I love to market with other people. When they come out, they all know because I know that it's which is like when they come to the store, we don't know it, and they don't know it. But it is really just all like a pan jack. Oh, well, I'll cover that. Sorry. See, and that's what I was talking about, that bald line. If you're having trouble with it, if it's not coming out, and that's because I have my my clipper zero gap. But of course, everyone's hair is different and stuff like that. So there's different tips and different techniques that you could use to take out that bald line. This is one of them. You just kind of go down with the electric shaver. So you just kind of put it right there where the bald line is and just go down with it. Yeah, he just came out of work, so he was wearing a work shirt. So, he had a crazy collar, so kind of had to fix that neck strip on him quite a few times actually. All right, so now I'm gonna get into lining up his corners. I think I've said this in the last video. So corners and just like the lineup in general, it's very crucial, because right when the client looks in the mirror, what are they gonna look at? Of course, their fade, but they're gonna look at their lineup. You want to make sure that it's looking good, it's looking real crispy. Hit it with your trimmers, but also to go at it with the razor. We're barbers, so we are going to be using the razor. Now I'm just edging them up. What I like to do is I like to start in the middle, and then I'll make my way to one side, and then I'll just, go to the other side. A big thing too is, always take a step back and look at, the hair. Make sure, double check, triple check, make sure, it's looking good. It's looking, very symmetrical, very even on both sides throughout the whole lineup. Lineups and lining up their corners, it's very crucial too, because that's really what makes like a haircut. The fade is one thing, but the lineup, it's a cherry on top. It makes the haircut. I always put a towel. One thing I learned in barber school when I went. So I've been a barber for 5 years already. I got my license in 2021. So I kind of learned, putting a towel right there. So whenever you're, lining them up, just you get all that hair right there. You just put it on the towel. Right there, just lining up his corners. Lining up the other side. One thing I learned, and you'll pick up tips and tricks from other barbers, is going around the ear. The electric foil shaver does a good job with blending everything to to the skin. The ears, sometimes it'll leave a few hairs there, but that's why I learned, go at it with your razor. So I'll go at it with my razor around the ear, and clients like that. Clients see what you do and that other barbers don't do. And they, trust me, they see it and they'll appreciate it. Like I said, we're barbers. We're going to use the razor. Now I'm just, continuing, making sure that his edge up looks clean, looks sharp. One thing I always do in my haircuts is I include the mustache. Lining up the mustache, I remember, when even now, like my barber has been cutting me up for about 13 years now, since I was a kid. And, now, I'm an adult, I have a mustache, so he always, lines up my mustache, and he always includes, and his clients, where he lines up their mustache. So I kind of just picked up that trick. Your clients, like I said, they'll appreciate it. Now I'm just kind of going over, the fade again, making sure everything is nice and crispy, and it's looking good. Just detail work, this is just detail work. But alright, y'all, we're getting, towards the end of this video. You guys, leave a like, a comment, subscribing will really help me a lot as well. I just started this YouTube channel, making videos and making content like this. I'll be making it more often. I know I just did a video maybe 2 days ago, so I found an opportunity to do this video. Well, you guys have a great rest of y'all's day, and y'all stay safe out there. Peace.